Now on the developing story that we first brought you on ABC 2 News at 5 o'clock. A murder in Baltimore City, and it came just hours after the mayor and the police commissioner visited a neighborhood to highlight some of the progress in the fight against crime. ABC 2 News' Christian Schaefer has that story with us from the newsroom tonight. Chris?
Yeah, that's right, Kelly. You know, even with that murder this afternoon in northwest Baltimore, the city still experienced fewer murders than it had this time last year. But a man gunned down in the middle of the day on a busy street gave residents and police a stark reminder of how much more needs to be done. The 911 calls came in shortly after 4 o'clock, police responding to reports of a gun being fired along Spalding Avenue in northwest Baltimore. They found a man on the ground in front of a small apartment building, shot in the head at least once. He died at the scene.
Our detectives are actively gathering evidence, speaking to witnesses, and trying to find out all the circumstances surrounding this case.
They are also trying to find out whether surveillance cameras in the area caught any video of a suspect. Spalding Avenue is just 1 block south of Pimlico Racecourse, and it's lined with row houses that feature front porches where on a hot day, dozens of people might have been outside at the time of the shooting. Just hours earlier, the mayor and the police commissioner held a news conference touting a drop in crime over the first 6 months of 2014. They say that's happened because they're getting more help from the community.
We've had a dramatic increase in the amount of information that we are getting from our community members.
Reducing violence, the mayor said, remains the top priority of her administration. The police commissioner said their plan to get tough on criminals and their associates is paying off.
If there's violence that takes place in this city, we go after that person who's responsible, but not just that person who's a violent repeat offender. We go after all of his or her associates that surround them, and we put pressure on the entire group.
At the news conference, the commissioner said so far there have been 17 fewer murders than at this time last year. Hours later, that number was down to 16. And so far tonight, police have not released the name of the victim of that murder near Pimlico. They say they do not have any suspects at this hour. Live in the newsroom, Christian Schaefer, ABC 2 News.